ó mẹ́rin ó gbóhùn erin ọ̀mọ̀sà ó jiyàn lọ́bẹ̀ àjànàkú kọjá mo rí nǹkan fìrí tá a bá rẹ́rìn ká sọ pé a rẹ́rìn. Solocard Multiventures Limited ilé ọ̀rẹ́ àgbẹ̀ ni mò ń sọ níbi kátà ojúlówó kẹ́míkà àti fataláísà tí kìí ṣe yèèpẹ̀. ọ̀rẹ́ mi sọnù kí owó bá sọnù.
Ìwé kíkọ láìsí ọkọ́ àti àdá kò ì pẹ́ o, kò ì pẹ́ o. Iṣẹ́ àgbẹ̀ níṣẹ́ ilé wa, ẹni kò ṣiṣẹ́ á máa jalè. Ìwé kíkọ láìsí ọkọ́ àti àdá kò ì pẹ́ o, kò ì pẹ́ o. Iṣẹ́ àgbẹ̀ níṣẹ́ ilé wa, ẹni kò ṣiṣẹ́ á máa jalè.
Mark Olúwafẹ́mi ẹni tẹ́tí mọ̀ lánàá tí ò ń ṣe ní tẹ́tí mọ̀ látìgbà lórí ètò Solocard Multiventures Limited Solocard TV tá a ti máa ń mú wá sétí ìgbọ̀yìn ọ̀rọ̀ àgbẹ̀ òun la tún délé ní o ọ̀rọ̀ àgbẹ̀ tá a máa ń wá sétí ìgbọ̀yìn lọ́sẹ̀ọ̀sẹ̀ nípa nǹkan tí à ń ṣe lóko bá ti lè ṣe lóko tó ṣe máa ní ọjọ́ sí i tá a ṣe ń ṣe tẹ́tẹ́lẹ̀ lọ bá ti lè ṣe tá a rèrè lórí ẹ̀ ju tàtẹ̀yìnwá lọ òun la máa ń mú wá sétí ìgbọ̀yìn lọ́sẹ̀ọ̀sẹ̀ ní Solocard TV láti fi tó yín létí kí làwọn nǹkan tẹ́ ń ṣe lóko tó yàtọ̀ sí bẹ́ẹ̀ ṣe lè ṣe tẹ́tẹ́lẹ̀ kí làwọn nǹkan tẹ́ ti ṣe sẹ́yìn tí ò fún yín lérè kí làwọn nǹkan tẹ́ lè ṣe ní ìsìn tẹ́lẹ̀ máa rèrè tabua lórí ẹ̀ òun la máa ń wá sétí ìgbọ̀yìn ní ọ̀sẹ̀ọ̀sẹ̀ àwọn ti dé sétí ìgbọ̀yìn lè ní o àkìyín pẹ̀kú ètò ẹ̀ káàbọ̀ ẹ̀dẹ̀kú àdúró tì wá torí pé kí ni tí ò bá sí ẹ̀yin àwa ò lè wá mi bí àdẹ̀fẹ́ kí yín pé ẹ̀ ṣeun gan láti Solocard Multiventures Limited láì fi tó yín létí pé well lóòrèkóòrè a ti ń yẹ̀ wò báwo la ṣe lè ṣe é táwọn àgbẹ̀ wa fi máa rèrè tabua lórí ẹ̀ ara ẹ̀ ní nǹkan tá à ń ṣe lénìí àpọ̀lọpọ̀ àwọn nǹkan láti ti ń mú ṣe níkàlẹ̀ láti mú ṣe ní Solocard Multiventures Limited díẹ̀díẹ̀ tó bá ti yá nítorí pé kí ni ìdùnnú àgbẹ̀ ló jẹ wá lógún torí ẹ̀ wọ́n ṣe pé wà ní ọ̀rẹ́ àgbẹ̀ like you say lédè òyìnbó wọ́n pè ní farmers friend. Thank you very much for staying tuned. My name is Mark Olúwafẹ́mi to Solocard TV and once again we want to welcome you to our weekly episode of Farm Matters, where we talk about agricultural things, how you can do agricultural practices, how you can control pests, fungi, and some other things, how you can actually respond to your plant needs in terms of nutrients, in terms of fertilizer, talking about fertilizer, all kind of fertilizer, talking about nitrogen, the potassium, the phosphorus, the magnesium, the calcium, and the likes like that, how you can actually do your farm effectively, managing plant population, managing the required seeds to grow and the expected seeds to grow, how you can actually have understanding of where to grow them and how to grow them, and those are the things we are putting in place. So please, we want you to stay tuned. As our usual practice, we always bring to you weekly what we are doing differently. Like we say, we are not an island. We're not saying that we know everything, but constantly we want to bring to your notice the things we are doing differently from what you've been doing, and we want to let you know the results we are getting, and that's why we want to share with you. Like I said again, we don't say we know everything, but we are sharing with you what is giving us results, and want to believe that if you can make use of those things too, you could get the same. Say a very big thank you to you for staying tuned to Solocard TV and for trusting Solocard Multiventures Limited for your daily, weekly, and monthly agro inputs that you need. At Solocard Multiventures Limited, virtually everything that you need on the farm we sell, starting from your farm implements, your hoe, your cutlass, your machineries, we have them. Talking about your fertilizers, talking about your chemicals to control pests, fungi, your foliar fertilizers, what have you, irrigation materials, they are available as well too. So everything that has to do with agriculture we sell, even to the machineries you use, your planter, your harvesters, your threshers, and the likes like that. We have them at Solocard Multiventures Limited as far as agriculture is concerned. Well, in a bit of it, we are also bringing on board our equipment, some other and the animal husbandry, some of the things people need on in that aspect. We also try to bring them on board just to make sure that we balance the equation. So many customers do come here and ask us, fine, we need things like that. Though we actually will refer some of them to some of our reliable customers, some of our reliable trusted partners that we know that could give you some of these services. But we are also trying to look into where we can actually bring it on board and looking into so that is cooking. We will get back to you on that. Today, on our episode today, we want to talk about how to go into agriculture. Yes, we had a program yesterday online, and we know we had so many participants, though it was not really announced, but we have several programs, like I said in one of our episodes, that will organize programs on different platforms, not just on our social media platform. We organize programs on radio, we organize on TV platform, just to showcase to people what they need to do differently. And like I said, Solocard Multiventures Limited, we are not just about the profit we want to make from you. We are not just about the money we want to collect from you, because we are selling all these things. But what we are after, basically, is for you to have understanding of what you are buying, for you to know how to use them effectively, and for you to make profit. And that's why we are taking time to go on different platforms to let you know how you could do all these things and do it well. Like the one we had on the radio yesterday, try to explain to people how they can actually go about agriculture. But we're bringing a part of it into our episode today on this platform, because yesterday was a live transmission on air and it wasn't recorded. So, but we are bringing this on this platform today to show you step by step when you're going into agriculture. We know over the time, so many people are complaining, yes, I spent so amount of money in doing this, I planted this thing, it didn't do well. We've met with so many persons, most especially youth. Because you know, before now, our target audience, we're actually looking at how we can actually encourage the youth to go into agriculture and how they see agriculture to be very profitable than what they have in their mind before. Before now, so many youth believes that agriculture is not profitable. But now, we want you to understand that agriculture is very profitable. And that's why we want you to let you understand what you need to do. Or rather, the mistakes people are making when they're going into agriculture. As such, they will say agriculture is not profitable. When we want to pinpoint, we want to itemize the mistakes out for you. So when you know those mistakes, you don't make the same mistake again. You could understand how to do it well. And that's why today's episode is basically talking about step-by-step process on how you can actually go into agriculture. First of all, the notion of the fact that I don't have money and that's why I cannot do agriculture, please, is one of the mistakes so many places are making today. True, you need money for agriculture. The first step you need to take if you want to venture into agriculture is for you to seek knowledge. When I mean seek knowledge, it's for you to seek knowledge about that thing you want to cultivate. I want to tell you that first of all, knowledge is key. You cannot do a business that you don't know anything about. Just the same way, let me use an example. So many persons that want to do trading, they want to do this kind of business, they're like, okay, fine. They want to go and study somebody first. You go and learn from the person, how do you buy, how do you sell, where do you buy from, and how to sell, what unit to use in selling, how do you transport, how do you do those things. You have to go and learn it. The same way, oftentimes, venturing in agriculture, you need to know. You might not really have the time or want to go and understudy somebody, but I tell you, it is good you visit a particular farm, persons that are doing this thing before you. Go and check what are they doing differently. We've discovered over time, 90% of persons that are feeling like agriculture today, they have assumed the knowledge. They believe that because they used to follow their daddy to the farm, they used to follow their mommy to the farm, they used to follow their grandpa to the farm those years, that they have a basic understanding about agriculture. So now we used to be like, what is there? Should be just for me to get seed, put it into the ground and water it, it will grow. Yes, it will definitely grow. But the truth is this, if you do not seek knowledge about it, you will always make mistake. And you will not, I repeat, make profit. Oftentimes, people believe that seeking knowledge from people, asking questions, talking to a consultant is like waste of time or waste of money. But I tell you, it's actually saving you the money you will waste at the end of the day. Well, so many people have been penny wise, pound foolish, and that's been the usual trend. You're trying to save 20,000 that you want to pay somebody that will tell you what you need to do, or even 20,000 that you spend in transporting yourself down to the person's farm, seeing things and coming back to start establishment of your own. Because you're trying to save that 20,000 naira, you end up wasting 2 million naira. After wasting the 2 million naira, you now start spending and that money to go and now look for that same knowledge you need to look for in the beginning. Can you see that? First of all, the first step is this: seek for knowledge. Because when you seek for knowledge, seeking for knowledge is the basic yardstick that will tell you what to do next. Because in the process of seeking for knowledge, you will know the kind of soil you need for that particular crop you want to grow. In the process of seeking for knowledge, you will understand the concept of planting population. In seeking for knowledge, you understand the concept of planting spacing. In seeking for knowledge, you know how to control the pests that are peculiar to that particular crop. Even in seeking for knowledge, you will understand how those pests that attack that particular crop operates. In seeking for knowledge, you will understand when you need to plant this crop. In seeking for knowledge, you know the kind of irrigation system that you will need if irrigation system is needed. In also seeking for knowledge, you will know how you want to get a viable and a good seed. In the same seeking for knowledge, it will tell you how you sell your products to make profit. In the same seeking for knowledge, it will tell you how you should manage your farm. Can you see that when you seek for knowledge, virtually all the problems that you will face in that project is being settled. Everything will come to you like an addition by seeking for that knowledge. Because by the time they explain the first step to you, the first step will give rise to the second step question. And the answer to the second step question will give rise to the third step question. The answer to the third step question will give rise, and just keep going like that till you now look at it. Oh wow, I guess I now understand how this thing works now. That's when you now see the difference between how you want to do it before and how it should be done originally. I want to take note of this thing. Seeking knowledge is one of the first steps you need to take. When you seek knowledge, you have almost everything you need to know about that particular venture. Talking about vegetable farming. By the time you seek knowledge about vegetable farming, you get to understand the kind of soil type that will be suitable for that vegetable you want to grow. Basically, well-drained soil, loamy soil, is very good for vegetables. And if you read so many journals, if you read so many things online, check anywhere, they will tell you, it's always be there. You see the clause, well-drained soil. There's a reason for the well-drained soil. This period that we're having excess rainfall. In some places are not even having rainfall at the moment. Some places are having plenty rainfall now. But the question is this: some people, all these vegetables, they like water. And let me plant it here. At least the water will be in excess. The water will be enough for the plant to use. But mind you, when the water is too much, the plant would never do well. And that's why the word well-drained soil comes in. There are pore spaces in the soil where air flow through for proper aeration in the soil as well. And most of the time when water fill up the whole pore space, it doesn't grow. We have few crops that grow in water. Not all vegetables grow in water, but we have few crops that grow in water. But even at that, they have their own requirements. So please take note, if you are a vegetable farmer, you want to venture to vegetable, well-drained soil is advised. Waterlogged area is not suitable for vegetable. I once met a planted onions. As bad as it is, onions is well grown on a dry land, well losing sand. Take note, onions is well grown on a losing soil, not compacted soil. Clay soil will not do well with onions. Your balls will not be big and stuff like that. If you have heavy compacted loamy soil too, your onions too will grow, but it will not be very big. But when you use well losing soil, the onion balls will be very big. And that's why it seems like onions is always growing in the north. No, because the northerners have well losing soil. And that's why it seems like they grow more of onions in that area than in southwest here. Even at the moment that people are growing onions in southwest anyway, to those that have losing soil, well losing soil on their farm. So what I want you to understand is this. Now every crop has its own requirements. The soil type, the water intake, you understand me now? The conditions and the like that. In the process of seeking for the knowledge that you need, you will have answers to all these questions. What kind of soil is suitable for my tomatoes? Or the kind of land I have in mind, or the land I think I have, will it be suitable for this tomato? If not, what will this land be suitable for? In the quest of seeking for knowledge, you will get all those answers. Then you can proceed, such that you don't waste your money. so that you don't spend the money in buying the seed, in trying to cultivate the land, in trying to buy fertilizer, pesticide, fungicide, and the likes like that. At the end of the day, you now get to realize that the crop you are growing on that soil is not suitable for that soil. Hence, the money is being wasted. You are now getting to learn after you wasted your resources. Then you will come back and say, oh, agriculture is not profitable. I did it one time ago, I wasted my money. The truth is this, you didn't do it right. So it is very profitable. But you went in blindly. You did not seek for knowledge. And that's what we wanted to know. Step-by-step process to venture into agriculture is the key thing that you need to know. First of all, seek knowledge. When you seek knowledge, you will now know what you need to do step by step. So the money factor will not be one limiting you now. When you seek for knowledge, you understand the kind of soil type you need. I tell you, land is readily available everywhere. But the fact is, you don't know the kind of land you need. That's why you don't see the land being available. And that's the truth. Within your neighborhood, within your reach, around you, there is a land empty there. And that same land that is empty, you know the person that owns it. You can always talk to somebody that owns it. Please, I want to use this land for farming. No, since you're not using it at the moment, can I please use it? I'm very sure if you talk to 3, 4, 5 persons, as a person, like, when you talk to them, let them understand what you want to do about on the land. Then they will look at it that way. Fine, this guy wants to do something really reasonable. Let us see how he's going to do it. Okay, no problem. You can go ahead and use the land. Well, in some areas, you might tell me, well, that is not possible. True, I know. But when you actually understand what you want to do, even getting land will not be difficult for you. And that's the truth. Getting land will not be difficult for you. Now, the second step about it is after you seek knowledge, if you are venturing in agriculture for the first time, being a beginner, or actually you have a mindset of it, the mistake most persons make is this. Most persons go into agriculture with the mindset of starting big. That mindset has always, or as in some cases 90%, running people down. Because of understanding that if I do cucumber of 1 acre, I should make 2 million naira from it. So let me do 10 acres. So I can make 20 million. My brother, it doesn't go that way. That mindset has ruined a lot of persons in agriculture today. Because they want to do it big at once. Something you don't know before. Something you have not done before. Something you don't understand from anybody. You just feel like, I'm a learned person. I have PhD in agriculture. I have PhD in computer science. My brother, PhD in the class is even from PhD on the field. Practical knowledge cannot be compared to theoretical knowledge. And that's why even in school, where you have your PhD, at the end of your PhD, they always tell you, go and do a practical research work. That practical research work is just trying to let you understand the fact that they want to know if truly the theoretical knowledge you've gained, you can put it to practical knowledge. Or you can put it to practice by achieving something. And that's why they ask us to go and do research work. Oftentimes, most persons don't even end up doing the research work. They just go and get one journal somewhere, copy it up and put it together and submit, just for me to graduate and leave. But the truth is this, when you get to the practical field, you cannot copy practical knowledge. You need to do it and experience it yourself. And that's where most people fail. So don't go into this business, in agribusiness, don't go into agricultural practices that you want to do it big. It is good to dream big, but it is better to go it step by step. I want to urge you, if you're venturing agriculture today, you've not done it before, or you've been having challenges, it is good to start small. It is known that when you start small, you have a basic understanding of how to go about these things. Number one, your land preparation, you understand how to do it well. Even when you make mistakes in small, a replica of it will amount to great loss. But in that small, it will be minimal loss. Then your next project, you will to what? Control and correct your error in the first one. When you have challenges with pest, it is easy for you to quickly control on a very small field, giving you basic understanding to understand how to control these things before time, so that when you are venturing to the next stage of a period, when you are expanding, you understand how to control the pests even before they come. Fungal problem is another challenge that can ruin your farm within the next 48 hours. When you start small, you'll be able to control the fungal effect while small, controlling it, reducing it to the barest minimum. So when you go on a larger project, you understand how to do it before it actually what? Invade your farm. These are some of the things that we want you to understand when you are just venturing into agriculture. It is good to dream big, but don't make mistake big, because it can kill. It has ruined a lot of persons down to there that they cannot even actually afford anything again, because of the fact that they want to dream big at once Hence, they wasted all the resources they think they could have. And as such, a lot of persons have wasted their money, and a lot of persons have it in their head today that agriculture is not profitable. I want to tell you, if you can follow the due process, when I mean due process, step by step, to everything in life, it has a process. You cannot buy a car today and start driving into the express on the highway if you don't know how to drive before. You need to go ahead and learn how to drive it. You need to understand what the clutch is all about, the brake is all about, and the accelerator is all about, the gear and the steering and everything like that. Before you can start driving it gradually, before you start moving it faster, and before you start entering the express. The same thing happens to agriculture too. But most persons want to venture into agriculture with speed. But little do they know that it requires a gradual process to get there. I want to urge you today. I'm a farmer. I'm not just telling you. And every day, I'm on the farm. Even though I'm a farmer, I've been farming for a while now. But still, we still face some challenge on the farm that we look at it that, wow, this is even different from what we experienced before. And we try to tackle it. In some cases, we have run so many projects through that at least we didn't really make profit on it. Not like because that we don't know how to do it well. But so many challenges came on board. You as a farmer that you listen to me, do you want to tell me ever since you've been farming, let's say for give or take 3 years back now, you've been making profit all over all your projects? There might be some of them that some things will happen that you don't have control over. What happens if you plant and the rain is falling and suddenly the rain stops? Look at what happened last year. So many people that had maize farm last year, a lot of them lost their maize farm because the rain stopped suddenly and most of the maize farm dried up. Do you want to tell me that you've been a pro so your maize cannot dry? You are not God. Now these are some of the challenges that will come on your field. But when you have basic understanding, you will know how to go about them going forward. And that's what I want to urge you. If you are venturing into agriculture today, ask questions. The next thing, look into how you can do it well. Do not look at it that you want to start big. I want to do 20 acres at once. You have not even managed an acre before. You suddenly want to do 20 acres. Do you even know how big 20 acres is? We visited a farm. The guy said, yes, I have maize farm of 50 acres. He has not about 50 acres. But between you and I, when we visited the farm, we realized that the farm is calling 50 acres is just 15.2 acres when we measured it. And he has been saying it's 50 acres. Do you know he has been wasting his money? Because he paid for plowing 50 acres and the land was 15.2 acres. He paid for second plowing again 50 acres. The land was actually of 15.2 acres. He paid for another land. He paid for another harrowing of the land before he planted the maize. 50 acres. The truth is this, number one, he didn't even go there when we were doing all these things. So he wouldn't have known. Because now really when you get to 15 acres and 50 acres, the difference is clear. Perhaps because you don't have any understanding about it. Maybe they send him video, he felt, if my farm is big, this is 50 acres. He doesn't have any knowledge about what the size of the land even is. While seeking for knowledge, all these things will come to you. You will understand what size, what's diameter, or what is the square meter of an acre, 10 acres. Physically, you could tell that this is not complete, give or take. And maybe the land was even up to 40 acres. Yeah, it's fair enough. But 15 to 50, my brother, there's a big loss. And at the end of the day, he's expecting profit of 50 is even coming on 15 acres. Even the 15 acres is not well done. So how do you think he was going to make profit? We visited a maize farm some time ago. That was about 2 weeks ago. And the person was saying, I bought chemical, we sprayed the chemical, the weeds are still coming out. But I tell you, my brother, the maize farm was a room and parlor. Do you know what I mean, a room and parlor? The distance between the first plant and the second plant is almost 2 meters. And we have it all over the farm like that. How will grasses not grow over the field? When you spray the chemical to control the weed, yes, the weed are dying. But there's enough room for the grass to rejuvenate, to grow again. Because they have enough room to thrive. The sunlight was getting to them very quick. The rain was touching them very fast. So they have to grow. He doesn't have understanding of what the planting population looks like. And so those are some of the things that you will get when you seek for this knowledge about that particular thing. The knowledge is not far-fetched. It's just close to you. Ask questions, you get to the right person that will tell you what you need to do and how you need to do it. By showing you practical things even on the field that will let you understand if fine, truly, this is how I should do it. And that's a simple truth. Because even those that are actually doing it, they're trying to put everything together, they are very close to getting it 100%. How much more you that you're not doing it right? People that are trying to put everything possible, they're getting 80%, 85%. And you that are not even trying to seek for knowledge on how to do it right, how many percent do you think you will get? You might not get more than 30% or 20%, as the case may be. So please, you want to understand. By the time you seek this knowledge, by the time you understand how it goes, then looking for the land you want to use. will not be difficult. But at that time, you know what is at stake. You know what you need to do. When you look for the land you want to use, easily you can get your land because you know the size of land you're actually looking at. Okay, fine. I have gotten this knowledge. Fingers burnt. Let me start small, truly. Perhaps you have the intention of starting 5 acres. Why don't you try 1 acre first and see? I, as a person, I started a cultural business with 1 plot. Yes, I started with 1 plot. The total money I had then was just 100,000 naira. That's what I started with. I'm trying to surprise you with 1 plot. But today, I can confidently run 50 acres of land because I already know from the beginning what I should put in place before what I need to do. I already understand the sequence or the cycle of a particular production. So when I'm doing things, I know what is next, what is next, what is next. When I start seeing some signs, I know what to do. I know where it might land me. So I try to correct it. You that you don't know anything about it and you start 50 acres, I tell you, when you're standing here, you don't know what's happening at the other side. But if you have started small with 1 acre, you understand the process. You will know if I can see something like this here, then something like this might be greater in the middle, something like this might be greater at the end. So you understand how it goes, then you'll be able to control the farm effectively. So please, we are urging you. At Solocard Multiventures Limited, we are not saying you should not dream big. Thanks to you cannot test the depth of a river with your 2 foot in it at once, else you'll be drowned. So we don't want you to start wasting your money. We don't want you to waste your resources. Seek for knowledge. Number 2, start small. Number 3, then go ahead and do it. If you can go through this process, I tell you, you will always make a very good result at the end of the day. At Solocard Multiventures Limited, like we always say, we are always here for you. We are waiting for your questions, we're waiting for your feedbacks. If you have any questions, you can always reach out to us. Our numbers are on the screen. You can always call us, send us a mail, chat us on WhatsApp. Let us know what you are facing. We can always provide a solution practically to what we have done. And we see, and we have seen, and we will still see a better results from you. Thank you very much for staying tuned to Solocard Multiventures Limited. We want to say a very big thank you to you for trusting us. We want to say a very big thank you to you for staying tuned to us. Till we see you again next week. Bye for now.
Bàbá Sídí ọ̀rẹ́ mi níbi táyé lajú dé yìí ló tún roko àrógbá kéèké.
wọ́n rò wọ́n ti sú mi mo ti fi kó tó ẹ̀ 3 lọ́dún
yìí. níbo ló ti wá ra kẹ́míkà tiẹ̀.
a ní lọ́dọ̀ àwọn tí wọ́n máa ń to kẹ́míkà.